Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are doing Midweek Magic and it's standard deck duels. So they're actually providing the decks for us for this one, and they're actually giving us 10 different decks. Quite a bit. One for each different color pair. So we have Arc, and if I'm not mistaken, these are the new decks that they've given us. There's one way to double check, and I think they would have fixed the names up by now. So my decks, starter decks. No, they haven't updated these yet. So, but they did give us 10 new decks. Okay, so we see Cat Attack, Draconic Dominance, Learn from the Land, Morbid Machinations, and four of the decks. Because of an error, the names were not able to go in. But yeah, this looks like the 10 decks that they gave us last time, and we're being asked to give these ones a go. So we'll start with the allied colored ones here. For this one, then the next episode following soon after, we'll just be going over the enemy colored ones. All of these will be seem to be following the draft archetypes that they're in, and they have one temple. Let's do a rare check. One. So one temple, two rares, no mythics, but a lot of uncommons and no mythics. So the power level of these is not going to be that high. Arcane Aerialist starting out with some ways to gum up the board, but everything else is pretty much flyers. Usually what we do is we do a sanity check on removal. So we have two, three, four, five, air quotes, two more. But we have 5 pieces of removal here, so but for the most part the idea is that we're able to dodge up on the air. So that's what we're looking at. We'll take a look at these decks as we go along with them. So not just to get quick into the gameplay. So we'll start first with Arcane Aerialist. Hopefully, and you should be able to change your decks midway. Maybe I put a bit too much water here, but it's coffee. It's simple. No blue mana. We have one 2/2 flyer and one piece of removal. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, this one is much better. We probably would want to give up. I'm gonna give up the gold vein pick. And then, okay, this looks like white-black life gain. So now what we are looking for is we're probably gonna just play the Helpful Hunter, try to set up our third land. Johnny's Pride Mate, we dead. Now we can't hold up Deadly Repose because this is only 3 damage. So we really have to hit that stasis snare. And we whiffed on one draw step, so we got one more shot. The reason I said that we can't just hold up on this one is because our opponent could just play another creature, throw this into a 4/4. We'd miss the boat right then and there. Take the hit for now, but yet, yeah, we're restarting this one. We could play Giada, then try to play Dazzling Angel that way, but that's not gonna help us against the Pride Mate. We really needed removal right away. That was honestly a non-starter hand. We only got 2. It does tell us that we really want to have 3 lands right away for this deck. And because of the nature of Stasis Snare, you really need to have double white. Also because of our 4 and 5 drops. This one is a much better start. We're missing if we're missing removal yet again, but we can kind of draw into it with Helpful Hunter. And we can use Fog Bank to, well, fog it for the time being. Opponent playing green-white this time. Now, I could play Kitesail Corsair first. Unless our opponent has a reach creature or another flyer, we get through, we get to draw 2 cards off chart, of course. Very Thespian. Okay. So we might be more incentivized to just play Helpful Hunter as a roadblock here. Now this is most likely here for cats. And cats are pretty good at 1+1/+1 counters. So we already played the land. I can probably just play the Helpful Hunter. It draws us a card. We're not drawing 2 right away, but we still leave a body on the board. We're hoping to hit our 4th land so we can go off on these, but I would not mind. We hit our 4th land. Now this does have flash, so that is kind of our advantage here. Cloudborn Preserver has. Now we don't get to block have a blocker for Wary Thespian, but we do take out their one really critical reach creature. They probably have more. So yeah, this is the +1/+1 counter deck. There are some cat synergies that are possible, especially for foundations, but this is not necessarily a +1+ cat deck. We get Dome for 3. Missing the 1 more mana. I could risk it. Try to draw. Try to draw into a land and some. Go into a land. And you just play Fog Bank. This will force our opponent to have their own removal. And this is all combat damage, so a fight source will take it out. But if anything, it does force our opponent to get them to use the removal on their hand already. It might Regal Caracal. Ooh, they would have. So we're taking 3. Yeah, definitely keeping Curator Accessories. We could use this to. I could play another Fog Bank, but I think I would. Yeah, we'll play another Fog Bank. Now, ideally, what I want to do is mute the Regal Caracal. What they can do is they can attack with multiples. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna let them attack with everything. We mute the Caracal. So let's see which one gets +1/+1 counter. They're gonna need Trample. So I can go Curator of Destiny, spell can't be countered. I could also do a Helpful Hunter Goldring pick and just keep trying, but I kinda want to draw the extra cards right now. I kinda want to get the extra cards right now. And this is the ultimate test, fact or fiction. So, let's see. As much as I'd like to draw more cards, I also like to end. I would also like to end the game as well. I could make the argument for putting this in here, but in which case they likely give this to me. I could check. We could take out one, but not this turn. So we'll see which 3 cards they decide to give me, or which 2. They most like. Yep, I figured they did not want to give me 3 cards. So there's that. They really are looking for. They really need a combat trick right now. As it stands, I'm most likely going to just Now I could dump this, equip it on Kitesail Corsair, get myself a treasure token, set up the next few turns, but yeah, this is where we see biogenic upgrade. But the lack of okay, now we have to be careful. We need to have blockers eventually, because the lack of trample is going to be an issue. We're also probably not. Actually, no, we could. Oh wait, we're not blocking. Now, if we get trample, all of a sudden we're in trouble. So now, all of a sudden, see, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have to play this one first. See, hit a land. We'll definitely play Helpful Hunter. Give us another creature in the ground. They're really looking for trample, they're just not hitting it. I can now swing a Curator of Destinies because now there's no hope of I'm just trying to figure out the blocks here. Belladar Savior. I'm gonna try to double check the green-white deck next. See if they actually have a way to give trample. Because we could get got by that eventually. Very little we can do about it. As it stands, we are forced to chump block. We'll probably throw Helpful Hunter in front of Armasaur guy. Actually, no. Prevent the lifelink. They're clearly indicating they have something. So 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's. Now let's see if they have an effect that gives trample. If they do, they just do it on the 18 and it's over. If not, we can slam Empyrean Eagle and we win. Now they could also have removal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They clearly have something. So I might as well play this as an additional blocker. Nope, one that doesn't have it. We got them. Woo! So now that was a much better game for us. It's not enough to just have the flyers. You need to have the way to stall out on the ground. Fogbank did a really good job of that. So got ourselves our first win there. Actually, I forgot to check my event. Red or green spells. Let's refresh that. White or blue. Oh, I could have gotten that. Anyway. So let's take a look at the green-white deck next. Which is right over here. So it's cat attack. So definitely cats. Let's see if they have ways of giving trample. Ooh. Okay, no, this one's a bit unfair. You have the rare, you have another rare, and they give you a mythic as well, and on top of the temple. I'm good. Oh, and just another rare. So this one actually has multiple rares. I get, and the Felidar Retreat as well. This one's rare heavy. Okay, so removals are 2 pieces of pacifism. That would help against Fogban. Let's see. Inspiring Calls protection. Felling Blow as removal, so that's 4 pieces of removal. Ooh, this has even fewer pieces of removal, but has multiple ways of protecting your creatures. So there is that. Oh, there's also the Wildborn Preserver. This has... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mossborn Hydra. I actually forgot about... I saw the other Hydra. I forgot that this one's also rare. 5, 6... and a mythic and a temple. So 6 rares, a mythic and a temple. This should be white heavy. This should not be green heavy. I guess there's a biogenic upgrade, but this should not be white, red, green heavy. Let's do a double check on the Arcane Aerialist. Did I really miss out on a lot of rares? So we have 1 rare, 2 rares with Giada, and she barely works. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 angels. That's uncommon. No, I'm not mistaken. This deck really only has 2 rares. Okay, let's go with the deck that has let's go with the deck that has even more. Let's see if this... Oh, you have to claim also. Let's see if this one pans out. On paper, it's supposed to be the more powerful one. We shall see. That said, the issue is really, 1, the lack of removal, and 2, the lack of trample. Like, the white-blue deck was able to stonewall the green-white deck quite a bit, and the removal of the green-white deck is not exactly that great. It really wants to go white. Somehow our opponent was not able to go... okay. Our opponent got greedy with the Armor Store. It tried to... So it gave up a few of the tokens. Yeah, this is not great. Also remember that this is not the... This is not the alchemy modified version. This is the original, really bad version. Just loving their white black. Now if our opponent is... Game life, sure. Yeah, they know. Not fooling anyone. But we can just get it out of the way and start beating our opponent. Next turn we probably want to do Good Fortune Unicorn. Now, our opponent's swinging, so they have no intention of... We'll do Good Fortune Unicorn. We need to hit our land drops. Nope, I don't have mana. And we're gonna go in. Windblade Paladin. So very good pacifism target here. And we're not gonna wait to kick the Gnarlid Colony. I would rather just play the Armasaur guide. Honestly, Doubling Season is win more for this deck. You don't... Sure, it's cool, but... Honestly, do you really want to... Okay, here's... One that has another one of these. So it's really about keeping our opponent's life total low. Yeah, this is where our lack of removal is hurting us. We've already used 2 out of 4. One that has to give up 1. He might have a combat trick. man, that's a feel bad. It's such a cheap combat. I can see now what I can see why the deck is full of these rares and mythics, because I don't honestly think these belong here at all. I guess them giving this to us is a way of giving us a copy of it, because yeah, but that's a lot of life gain we're not getting past. And yeah, the lack of removal pretty much kills this deck. As far as I'm concerned, the green-white deck is actually, it's synergistic, but in all the wrong ways. I would kill for less synergy for more removal. I would trade the Doubling Season for another removal spell. I would trade the Anthem of Champions for another removal spell. We didn't exactly get our cat synergies, but I would trade the Charming Prince for Charming Prince for the 1/1 draw a card from white as a cat. Like, there's two. Felidar Retreat, okay, that one's keepable, but without any ways of getting extra lands into play, not very good. In fact, you could say that we have that this one is all over the place for no good reason. I do like the Good Fortune Unicorn, but remember, at this cost, you probably played your 1 and 2 drop already. Yeah, I would have killed for more removal. A few ways to there are some ways to draw cards, but it assumes we were able to get counters on it. Yeah, Anthem Champions doesn't belong here. That said, it does give us one copy of each of these for free. Also gives us a copy of it gives us a copy of these as well. So that's one way to get copies of it. I take a look at white black, but that's an enemy colored deck. I said we'll take a look at it on the other video. Let's go in reverse order. So that's the Path of Power deck. Please give us enough removal, and I'm starting to hate this mild-mannered librarian. Yes, it draws us a card very late. Well, they do give us 3 Llanowar Elves. So we got 2 Bushwhacks for fight, 2 Scorching Dragonfire, Bulk Up, which is horrible. Let's see. Players can't gain life. This would have really helped us out a lot against the white-black deck. I'm trying to look for. This gets +1. Not much removal either, as in, like, I only see 4 pieces again. 2 Scorching Dragonfires, 2 Felling Blows. Guys, pump spells are not removal. At least we got Spinner of Souls as a way to help us draw into more cards. Garruk's Uprising is also a way to draw more cards. But that said, Garruk's Uprising does not help us trigger this one. Do we have any other payoffs for Power 4? Not really. I guess this is just to give us a way to get loot, and that's about it. As far as rares are concerned, we have 1, 2, 3. We got 3 rares. 4 rares if you count loot. Yeah, we got. This one only has 4 rares and 1 temple. I'm not pleased with this. Like, even the white-blue deck has 5 pieces of removal. And oddly enough, not many payoffs. The only payoffs for Power 4 or greater is just the Garruk's Uprising. So, Courageous Goblin, we can kind of protect it. I'm willing to keep this. If we can hit another land, it's Courageous Goblin into Felling Blow. It's nice. I don't know if it's nice to see Snakeskin Veil again. This is like, sure, they need protection spells are nice, but this is probably the most toxic protection spell. Well, then again, I've seen Blossoming Defense in Explorer. Maybe that one is worse. Okay, so we can't Felling Blow this one. Oh no, we can. It's Ward Pay 2 life. Bushwhack is also an option, but we're just gonna Felling Blow this right away. So we could bushwhack for another forest. Never mind, opponent conceded right away. Now this is a zombie deck. I'm guessing this is blue, black, or black, red. Could also be green, black, but I'm also wondering why they conceded so quickly. Did they only have those cards in one color and not of the other color? Well, we'll see if we can get a try for this deck. That was not a fair representation for it. In fact, I still think that if the game had managed to go longer, we would have lost. Yeah, it was the green-black deck. Now, green-black is supposedly the weakest color combination, but I've been hearing that green-blue is also kind of weak. Green-white is also kind of weak there. Green-red is kind of the only one with green that's surviving. Anyway, let's go in reverse. It's now red-black. Oh, they gave us another mythic with Massacre Worm and an Etali. So let's see. Immerstrom Predators in? Okay, that's a second rare. Alicia who laughs at fate. Ooh, this is a nice way to get creatures back. That's 1, 2, 3 rares, 1 mythic so far. There's a Null Priest of Oblivion, that's 4 rares. So this should be the higher powered one. Now as far as removal, let's see. 2 Scorching Dragonfire again. Perforating Artist is not really removal, it kind of can be. Massacre Worm is too slow to be removal, but it's very late, but it can be removal in the right circumstances. Garna is 2 Heartfire Immolators. Prowess a bit questionable given we only have 7 non-creature spells, so this one's really just 2 mana, then pay 1 to deal 2 damage. Then a Fanatical Firebrand is additional. Oddly enough, the Frenzied Goblin kind of counts as removal, in the sense it gets 1 blocker out of the way, but this one is also another big question mark. I would not be surprised if this deck is relying on the rare or just to win or not. Actually, I should also check. It's pop because I didn't notice that many cards. Okay, so turn 1 Frenzy Goblin doesn't really do much for us, but I would still want to play my Temple of Malice turn 1. Definitely keeping Alessia. We do need triple black for Massacre Worm. Only playing the white-blue deck, so this is a big concern for us. Fog Bank will ruin our day. We have Scorching Dragon. Oh, there's our Fog Bank. Oddly enough, we can pay to make this not block, and we do get through. Now, also the other things, there are very few dice triggers here. I'm gonna play Alessia, we're just not going to attack right now. Oddly enough, with the way the other decks are constructed, Fog Bank might be the best card here. Like, if the green-white deck had a few Predator Strikes, for example, it counters the Fog Bank. Okay, and we're forced to use our Scorching Dragonfires on this because that's the only way we're getting through. Now, it's target creature, but I'm gonna decline to pay. And the reason is because this is a beginning of your end step raid trigger. Okay, there's Giada. We're definitely gonna try to punch through Giada here. And another Fog Bank. The Fog Banks are gonna kind of get us a bit. Now we could play Battle Song Berserker, give Menace, so Even with the fog bank, our opponent is still gonna have to commit another creature. Perforating Artist. That's one. Now that is one way to get around it. Opponent blocks with fog bank. That's good, but we will still get both raid triggers here. Okay, they're discarding extra lands. They do have a top end of 6, so they probably have a lot of lands. Or they have ways to draw cards. So they're probably gonna hit their 6th land. Onwing Marshal is gonna be annoying. But now we're at the point where we can now start paying for Frenzied Goblin. And we can use Undying Malice to keep it alive. Goblin Borders. Let's see. Death Touches and yeah, Fog Bank is our alternate removal. Unfortunately, we're still missing our mana drop, so now because of the sequence, they were not gonna get the death trigger here. There's your Curator, but we are still rocking a 6/6. Our opponent's gonna need to hit one of their 3 stasis fields. Of course, I'm giving them the lands. I couldn't take the risk because that was what I did last time. Now what I could do is, let's see, so what I do is hit first, let the trade happen. We'll trill a possibility because I need to see a card. Menace would be nice. Strong Box Raider. Yeah, I'm gonna discard the Goblin Borders because and so now we need to get Frenzied Goblin. It's a question if our opponent can hit the stasis or not. But as you can see, we're just living off the back of Alicia. Stasis, they hit the stasis snare. So that ends it. That ends the game for us. We have no. Now what we could do is we can. Oh, why can't plus skill gains? Anyway, so we could swing, get the attack trigger. We can get it so it just gets chumped by this one. Then we would have to play. Yeah, we made a mistake there. Oh no, they let through. Okay. The Offer of Immortality came way too late. This one can't block anyway. And yeah, we don't have and we have no way of blocking the air also. Oddly enough, it's the decks with the multiple rares that with the multiple rares that are having a hard time. And somehow the white-blue deck is the most imbalanced of all because just by the nature of that, they tried balancing it by reducing the number of rares. And yeah, I say good. That was good, but I probably would have balanced this more by. Now I get that they didn't want to give us But they gave us 3 copies of Llanowar Elves. And there's 2 copies of Fey Bloom Trick. What would I have done to... How could I make this deck worse? Cut down the Stasis Snares. There is no reason for this to have Stasis Snares if the Cat deck doesn't have it. I'm gonna take a look at the Vampire deck. The Vampire deck doesn't have it. In fact, it's all its removals in blacks. Well, they have Mortify. Red, white. Okay, there is no reason for... If any, I would say the Cat deck needed Stasis Snares more than the Arcane Aerialist deck. Anyway, that leaves us with Undead Resurgence. Let's do another rare check. So I don't see any. I see Kiora. That's 1 rare. There's a Death Baron. That's another. This is the zombie deck. There's a Zur Ashur. So 3 rares. 3 rares only. Okay, so this is a bit less powerful, but they're giving us 4 copies of Diregraph Ghoul, which is already a sign that things are really bad. Also of note that our removal is just 2 copies of Eaten Alive, 2 copies of Stab. 2 copies of Deadly Plot. Okay, so this has more removal. Tragic Banshee, that's bad. This is kind of bad, but it is also still removal, so we actually have a lot of removal here. And Kiora, it's basically a threshold check, so it does want a lot of removal. But it is kind of starting to line up in a sense. The white blue is really strong. I heard blue black is kind of okay. It's probably strong as well. Not sure what makes blue the strong color, but that is where we're lining up today. Definitely keeping this one first. We got Diregraph Ghoul. We can wait a bit before we have to Eaten Alive and Cemetery Recruitment to get the Diregraph Ghoul back. Again. So this is where we pay attention. Our opponent has a few payoffs. This one's not one of them, but this creature has dead touch if it's on 7 or more. So not yet. Unfortunately, getting this, as much as I like to get the bird back, that is not the best one to get back. So we're using it to fill a threshold. When it plays Dazzling Angel, so there's our much better Eaten Alive target. I could trade this one right now. Set everyone back. Yeah, let's set everyone back a bit. Our opponent blocked poorly. And our opponent conceded right away because of the misblock. What we were going to do is Eaten Alive, then Cemetery Recruitment. We'll skip that one. So that was a relatively fast episode. That's a nice reward, Kellen the Fey-Blooded. Though I kind of did not need that. Wait, I did not need that version per se. But yeah, as far as the 5 decks are concerned, Arcane Aerialist is busted. Built-in evasion is a big thing. The fog banks are very annoying, and there's very few. At least the blue-black deck has cheap removal that can bypass it. Black-red literally has the 2 Scorching Dragonfires, which you feel bad to use it on it. Really, the lack of this one overemphasized raid, so that's why there's not enough removal. I would probably cut a bunch of the... Like, if this is your creature balance and non-creature balance, I would cut a lot of creatures here to favor the non-creatures. Battlesong Berserker is a nice keep. I would probably cut... I see what they're doing. I would have added more Trills of Possibility. I would have cut the Goblin Oriflame, but I felt like that it was there to give us a copy. Garna Garna feels real. This is a real feel bad. If you notice that, why did they give us the build gate here when the other decks have life gain? Yeah, this one had Tranquil Cove. I believe this one also has life gain. Yeah, Blossoming Sands. Why did they negate the life gain off this one? Path of Power, Rugged Highlands. No fair. I bet this one even got the life gain deck. That so I don't understand. I think this is the case where multiple people were built. There were multiple teams building each of the different decks. I bet that there's another deck that uses guild gates as well. No, this one's also life gain. Oh, okay. Green black. I'm not surprised. Two of the worst decks have this. Draconic is probably no. It's also life gain. So you can kind of tell who. So this tells us that there are five people who built these decks. You can also tell based on the number of rares and that were added, like because I bet the Morbid Machinations and Reckless Raid was built by the same person because they chose to use guild gates instead of the life gain lands. Then let's see. Arcane Aerialist had only two rares. I need to find a deck that has only two rares. Cranko Mob Boss. Oh, this one only has one rare. Like there's a Cranko Mob Boss. Make a Stand is uncommon. Like this one is very tight, even with the lack of rares. Also still keeps the cat clean. So this one, so the same person made the white blue and the red white deck. So so it looks like it's divided between that. So we have an Elenda Saint Dusk, Phyrexian Arena. That's two rares. It's also it's also possible that no, it's also possible that this our friend could have made the white blue and the white black deck. You see that there are three decks with very few rares. I'm trying to look. Undead Resurgence also had very few rares as well. I think it's just 1, 2, 3. So kind of split a bit there. I would not be surprised if this one is rare stack. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So one mythic. Rite of Replication is also a rare. That's 4. Hero's Bane is also a rare. That's 5. Someone keeps putting loot in here, so I suspect that and putting Mild Mannered Librarian here. If you notice that the red green deck also has Mild Mannered Librarian, so they're using Mild Mannered Librarian as a way to cover up the lack of card draw. So the red green and the green blue were made by the same person. So that leaves us with. So I would not be surprised if this has. Okay, 1, 2, 3 rares. Okay, this one's a bit more balanced. Only 3 rares. But you get the idea what I'm thinking. But you kind of get the idea of where I'm getting at here. Anyway, as far as the allied color decks are concerned, go for white blue. Blue black is better for control. Black red has good recursion, but it's problematic on the removal front. Like there's barely any. Now this is basically hit a rare or go bust. Also, card draw is barely any too. Like you only have the single Trail of Possibility, and you're relying on Strongbox Raider to make up the rest of it. Yeah. Also, Gutless Plunderer, so you're relying on these for your card draw? No way. And yeah, I would not play if white blue becomes very popular. I would not play green white, or if I do, I would hold my pacifisms and felling blows for as long as possible to make sure to hit their fog banks, because you have no out otherwise. And the green red deck just, it has a lower curve, but it does give trample. But otherwise, it's still a question mark. I guess Garrick's Uprising, which is only a single copy. Come on, give us more. Come on, give us more copies of this. At least the Nessian Horn Beetle doesn't have trample natively though. It's not giving us mild mannered librarian. Just give us real card draw. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode, Magic Arena Run. Do check us out again when we go through the enemy colored decks this time. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.